Hello, good morning, students. This is the second part of the history lesson of 6th standard students. In these days, I have already sent you various clips, video clips to watch among the civilization which has started along the rivers, and we have already talked about why the civilization is starting in a riverside. We have already seen in the last part what is meant by how a civilization can be understood. A civilized person, how can be understood? Because of what? Because they will have an efficient system of administration. They will have their own language, some kinds of worship they will have, cultural expression is there. So some total of these aspects organized a life in a society is called the civilization. So the civilized person we can understood, and each one of you nowadays, I am talking about 3000 years ago, but nowadays we all are civilized people because we are living in a place where we have an efficient administration, district level, village level, everywhere we have our own administration setup. Then we have our own language, our own script we have, then our worship system we have a culture. So we today can be called as a civilized people. During that period, it was difficult to find out the civilized people. They started to become a civilized people, and now, thank God, we are a civilized man or woman or child. Anyway we are. And we have already told about the river valley civilization, because all these civilizations were started along the riverside. That way we have told about the Mesopotamian civilization is originated where? Along the river Tigris and Euphrates. Then Egyptian civilization, where it started? Near along the riverside, river Nile. Harappan civilization, where it started? Along the river Indus. Then there is a Chinese civilization that started along the river Huanghe. Then today we will little bit explanation way we will study about the Mesopotamian civilization. We know that in ancient times the land between the rivers, that means Tigris and Euphrates, now it is in Iraq, was known as Mesopotamia. The land between rivers Tigris and Euphrates was known as Mesopotamia. Meaning what? Land between rivers. So Mesopotamia included 3 regions: Sumer, Akkad and Assyria. We have, and now we know about a state, about a city, about a region. How we know? We have learned in the previous chapter. We should have the history. How we will have the history is the systematic or organized records of the past events. Past events, it can be due to the source materials we could find out in the time past in those places. Who were lived there? What kind of things they were used? How was their life? Their social setup, how was it? And what occupations they made? How can we understand that? We can understand that through the source materials. We have learned in the previous chapter what are the source materials, literary and archaeological materials, isn't it? I hope that you remember that. Source materials, we can understand what are the source materials, the remainings of buildings, such as the kinds of buildings, ziggurats, temples, administrative buildings, storehouses, and also the canals and reservoirs. What kind it was built. From this we can understand which type of people were living there or lived there once. And the inscriptions, the another source, inscriptions on a pillar bearing Hammurabi's code of laws at that time. What laws they were used, and it was inscribed on the pillars. Then artifacts and other goods like bronze tools they were used, weapons they used, the vessels they were using, and all these weights and measures, reed pens they used to write, then pottery pieces, woven cloth they made, and the glass products they used. These all are considered as artifacts. And the towns, how they were planned. A Sumerian city. We already told that Mesopotamia included 3 regions, Sumer, Akkad and Assyria. Then the Sumerian city usually considered of a sacred area. Why it is considered as a sacred area? It is a walled city in outer town. It is a walled city and outer town. The sacred area considered because of the main temple was there. So it is considered as a sacred area. What is temple? I hope that you may know that what is meant by temple. Our God's house. We are worshipping our gods. And in temple we are going to do our prayers. So that place is a sacred place. Then the storehouses and the administrative buildings are close to there. Then the social life. You can see below that side here, you can see that this place is now in ruin, but once it looked like this only. It was very nice to see, no? The houses where they had the town. And in this, they have one society. In that society where they live, they have a social life. In this social life, there are 3 classes of people. That means the king at the top. King, priest and king's officials is considered as a highest society in that place. And there is also the king made the king, since he is the head of the society, he made the laws and was also the chief priest. He was considered as a chief priest. Then there is the middle class. Who are the middle class people? Mainly the landowners, merchants, craftsmen who were living there in that walled city are considered as a middle class people. And there are also the lowest class people. They were the slaves. Who are the slaves? They can be captives because of the war. After the war, they will take some people who are captives under their control only. They were considered as slaves. They are formed as the lowest class. They live in the outer town, not inside the town. They are outer the town. They cannot enter inside the town. And I hope that is it a justice? No, it's not a justice. Where there is injustice prevailing, there will not have the peace. And the people, they were not enjoying a good life. They were not happy. They are forced to live like that only at that period. Then what were their main occupation? Mainly they were farmers. Farmers means they were making the agricultural products to live. But probably the first to grow, they used wheat. And you also hear, no? We also hear what we have, the main. We have the rice and also we are eating wheat. And to control annual floods, they built dikes, dug wide canals and created artificial reservoirs. Reservoirs where they can keep the water. They mastered skills such as metallurgy, pot making, cloth making and glass making. These all things they were doing at that time. Then the Sumerians were also world first traders. They knew how to use the money, and they devised a system also, weights and measures. They were also first to use wheeled transport, the transportation with the wheels. And the religion, the Sumerians were nature worshippers. Since here in our classes there are different religion people. We have different type of worshipping. And the Sumerians at that time, they worshipped the natural things. The main temple of each city was built on the top of a stepped pyramid called ziggurat. On the top side only they will build their temple, because in the previous time it was considered in the topest place the god lives. So they were built their own temples at the top of the pyramid, and it was called as a ziggurat. So when you hear ziggurat, you have to understand what it means. It's a temple which is stepped pyramid, which is built on the top of a stepped pyramid, is called a ziggurat. It was dedicated to patron god, representing a natural phenomenon. The temple was the center of all economic, political and social activities of the city. So it is considered a very important thing in that period. In the Mesopotamian civilization, for them the temple was considered as the center of all economic, political and social activities. Then they had their own script. civilized people have their own script also, no? So, what was their script? The Sumerians were first to develop a script for keeping records. They were keeping records, the events happening in their time. They were kept in a written form. They wrote with reed pens. What is reed pen? Reed pen is the hard stems. Stems means a branch of a tree. That means stem is a part of where there is no leaves. That stem of a variety of tall grasses. The grasses which are growing tall, and not the leaf side part but the stem part, the main part, they will cut, and with that they write. So they wrote with these reed pens. On wet clay tablets they wrote. And what they will do after that, then they baked the tablets in order to keep it. After writing on the wet clay tablets, they keep it after baking it. Baking means after making hot it, and it will be dry. The letters were wedge-shaped, and hence the script is called cuneiform. That means wedge-shaped. The clay tablets gives us a lot of information about the life of the Sumerians. And all these things help us to understand how and what life had the Sumerian people, and what was the civilization of this Mesopotamia, and the developments in mathematics and astronomy. That means this side you may see that Mesopotamians have the development of, they made the mathematics and astronomy. How they grow? The Sumerians counted using the sexagesimal system. What's it? It was a numerical system with a 60 as its base. We still use this system for calculating our time by observing the movements of the sun and the moon. If we see our parents, not your parents' time, no, your grandparents, they will see, they will look to the moon and sun, and after that they can understand the time of the day. And they divided the day into 24 hours and the sky into 12 parts, coinciding with the zodiac signs. The Sumerians devised a lunar calendar based on the movements of the moon. Lunar calendar is considered on the basis of the moon's movements. Their year fell just 11 days short of the solar year and provided fairly accurate information about the seasons. And I will send a video clip about the Mesopotamian civilization. Then we have the Egyptian civilization, and also we have the Mesopotamian, Egyptian, and which is the next one, Chinese civilization. As we have told about the Egyptian civilization, where it flourished, Egyptian civilization, it flourished along the river Nile. River Nile we can see in Egypt. So the civilization flourished there, and it has also the source materials, how the towns were planned, the social system, social life, how it was, the occupation what were, the religion what was, and the script they used what was, and the developments of science and technology, how it was. It is written on your text, And the text, I scanned the text book of the second lesson and I sent it to you in the group. I sent also the first and the second lessons of geography already, the question answers of the first and second lesson. The first and second lesson scanned also I send it to you in your WhatsApp. You can see that. And after that you can read the chapter with this mobile only. Those who have not yet the textbook. For those who have not the textbook, I am sending this scanned copy. You have to open that and read that. And some of you continuously asking, sister, I don't have the textbook. Don't repeat the same thing and writing the same thing sending. We know that before getting the books, the lockdown they declared. So they could not come and bring the book here. Those books we got already, the principal have already arranged how you can get the books through the teachers or through the schools. And the lockdown, it is caused very damage for us. As it has a very positive side, it has also some negative sides. One of the negative side is this. So we have to arrange by ourselves how we can. And Egyptian civilization, all these figures also you can understand, and I send it all these to you as a scanned text. And if you cannot open that, you have to ask your parents to open that and read that text. Then you can understand that. And the Chinese civilization also, it has the Chinese civilization where it started. We have already said near the Huanghe riverside. And these what are the source materials we could get from there, and the town's planning, how was it, the social life, how was it, and all these, the occupations they made, the religion, the script, developments in science and technology, all these you will get from your textbook. And also, as I told you before, and also you will get it through the video clips. Nicely explained video clips of the Mesopotamian civilization, of the Chinese civilization, and of the Egyptian civilization I will send to you today. That you have to watch and listen these classes, and after that you read the text from the scanned copy. You have already with you in your WhatsApp. And the video clips you will get through the YouTube channel. I sent you already. Not to subscribe only, in order to take that clips. It will help you understand the text we are taking. And the question answers of the first and second chapter of geography I have already sent to you. So don't write by yourself. You have to look to that and you find out first by yourself. After you look to the question answers I sent to you, then you evaluate how much I got it. I could find out the question answers by myself. And you should be proud of it. You could find out by yourself. After that, you check it, that question answers with the question answers I sent to you. Then you write on your notebook only the question answers I sent to you through WhatsApp. Not what you have find out. Even though it is correct, some grammar mistakes will be also there. And write it clearly and orderly on your notebook. I will check it when you will come to the class, come to the school when it will be reopened. And if those who are not writing well, those who have not the clear handwriting, this period have to help you to write on your 4-line paper and improve your handwriting. That will help you to for the next standards also. From 6th to pass to 7th, and when you come to the higher standards, you should have a good handwriting. Otherwise, for board exam, your marks will be coming down, not growing up. So all these you can be it will be helpful for you. See the video clips, see the text I sent to you, and after that you read the text. After listening my class, read the text, see the video clips, and after that find out the question answer by yourself in rough book, and you check it whether I am right or not, if it is correct or not, through the question answers I sent to you. Thank you. If you are not understanding what all things you are not understanding, don't send the messages in the group. You have to send to me on my mobile number. My mobile number you all know, 7559850751. I will send a message also through WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number. Only through my WhatsApp number, your clarification, your doubts, and anything you have to ask, not put in the group. Okay. I hope that you are clear about it. Thank you, all of you.